Hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? This video is all about a machine that I've actually had for quite a few years, the Hoover 875, produced for 6 months in 1938. So hasn't had a very long run. I've had this for several years, since 2013 actually. It came from eBay, very close to my work in Maidenhead, and didn't run at all. And over the preceding years, the original bag was utterly scrap, so I couldn't do anything with that. In fact, I posted it off to somebody to fix and they lost it, or the postman lost it, and then they vanished into thin air, and I never saw it or him again. But it's not the end of the world, I'll be honest. Then I had it all apart to to start to overhaul it, and various bits broke. But the other day I have fixed it and fitted a bag. I also do have a proper black bag, but well, as you've seen from the video of me washing it, that bag is for this machine. But for now it has a lovely grey one on it, which is fine, because it means I can use it. So let's take a closer look. So this is the machine. It needs a lot of paint. The handle and the bail and the edge of the motor are awful, but you can't take the bail off of these, they're riveted on. Probably mask that off and paint that and spray that, and I can sand all the handle down, but that's going to be a problem, so I might have to paint on some rust converter and then brush paint on with some thick black paint, enamel paint, hobby paint, whatever. But it's the wrong time of the year to do that now, really. It's now nearly October time of filming this, so that won't get done now until next year. This is the handle. I think it's the original handle. It's a little bit perished here and there, but I'll be honest, from the state I've seen some of these in, it's not too bad at all. There's the switch, just on and off. You'll notice it has a modern plug fitted, modern cable. The one that came with this, well, this did actually come with a cable. I lobbed a bit of white rubbish on just to get it working before, and then I did have a spare handle for it, which is where all the switch gubbins came from, because that was all completely perished on it when I first got it. And it did have a thick black rubber cable, probably from the 50s, but it was very perished, and because the kids play it, Charlie grabs the cable on my vacuums and plays with it. I couldn't have that, so it has got a modern cable on it, I'm afraid. But can't do much of that. You might have also noticed these lovely cable ties. If I just take the cable off, let's raise you up a little bit. Hang on. There we go. Take the cable off so you can see this type of vacuum cleaner. This vacuum cleaner has, or should have, in fact I'll go and get it in a minute and show you why it hasn't got it fitted, a bag strap. So the fabric strap that comes out of here and clips onto the top of there. But that is very, very perished. So this cable tie literally goes into the little roller, which is dated 1933. The bag strap comes up the handle, is tensioned by a spring, goes around the roller, and then comes out and sits on here. I need to fix all that, so I don't have that yet. But this does the job and enables it to be used. Because when I got the machine, there was baling twine around here to the cord hook. So it was basically like that, rather than hanging down like it should. This is what sits in the handle. This is the tensioning spring. And it goes from roughly down there, and it's basically tightened, and that is what makes the bag flex. So when the bag is empty, it's quite tall, but as the bag gets fuller, it allows the bag to drop. And this strap in here is what rolls around the roller, and on the end of here should be a metal hook, but as you can see, it is so perished that I can just tear it apart with my hands. So my current thinking currently is to get some quite thick bootlace, remove all of this, and either see if the shoe place I'll go to have a crimping machine, and they can staple it back into the end of the spring as that one is, or I'll just tie a small knot in it really. And then, yeah, just use a long bit of bootlace. I don't know how long it should be. I need to play with that. But that shouldn't be too difficult. And hopefully that will be an acceptable fix. So there's that really. Right. Let me reposition again, because we're done with this part now. And we'll have a look at the bottom. It's probably going to be easier for me to be in handheld mode for this, so we can get up close and personal. So let's take off this is a genuine Hoover bag, but obviously it's not a original Hoover. Well, it's not the original bag, but that's fine. So we'll take that off for now. You can see we've been using it a little bit. Charlie had all of his crisps out earlier. So we'll empty that and we'll vacuum it up. I think everything else is up in the bag, which is fine. We'll work that out later. So as you can see, that's where it all comes out. Look, there's the big fan. Lovely. So this, ow. There we go, breaking myself on it. So this is the ratings plate, model 875. 225 to 250 volts, 310 watts. Motor number 8M36966 possibly. Consult Hoover service station before applying to any other current. Back when Hoover had service stations, and there's lots of patents which hadn't yet been applied for, and it was made in Perryvale. Probably one of the first ones to be made in Perryvale, I think, from my brief internet looking. So look around, it has got a light, should have a light, we'll work that out in a bit. Now when I first got this, I thought that it would need a repaint, because I thought, oh, these should be shiny, but they shouldn't. This is the actual finish, and you can sort of see what it used to look like under there. I had the sieve out and I gave it a bit of a rub, and blow me, it came up quite well. So this is the result of just a little bit of a go, really. I don't think I can show you how it was. But basically, I don't think it needs a repaint at all. I think it just needs a clean, the hood, which is excellent. So all of this will need a clean and a paint, because it's all very rusty. But so they're held in by massive rivets. I've got an old service manual, the American one, that covers this sort of era, and these, if the fork breaks, you go to Hoover and they'll rivet you a new fork on. So we can't do too much about that. Let's turn it over. We have two wheels, although this one is held in with the circlip from a Hoover Junior, because I didn't have the circlip for this. They handed me this wheel, thank God they didn't lose it. And that's nicely stamped up with the Hoover logo. This is the adjustment mechanism, which I find myself adjusting quite a bit going for my different carpets. Obviously this is quite a heavy non-self-adjusting machine, so I gave all that a bit of a lubricant. The Hoover makes carpets last longer. And this is the base plate. This is the brush roll, which is remarkably good. Even the brushes are incredible. So if we take this off, I thought we had to do it one-handed, hang on. Pop you back up there. So if we take this off, that covers the motor spindle. I haven't got a screwdriver, so I can't take this off. There's already lots of carpet lint around. I've been using this. It works very well. We'll pop the belt off, and I'll show you how the belt works. There's a lever under here that you pull and unlock, and the whole brush roll pivots up and out, which is remarkably cool. And here is the brush roll with its belt. It's just got a 912 belt on it, because I have never seen an 875 belt. Then to get the brush roll out, I think, how does this work? Can't can't remember now. Oh, there we go. Oh, so this one is, there we go. You release the brush roll like so, and here it is. One lovely, been refurbished in the past, not to my utter standards, but it was good enough to just lob that together and work. So, because I've had this for so long in bits, the motor and the brush roll were good. In fact, I've had it. You'll see videos far back on my YouTube channel. You'll see a video of the motor from this running, and I think the motor with the brush roll fitted, just running on its own with nothing else attached. So you have sort of seen this before. There we go. You've got to line that up very finitely and drop it down. And there we go. Then check the belt's not caught, and then place high side of belt in line with arrow. Which I think means it goes in this way. Like so. No, other way round. This way. But good thing about these coffee can hoovers, they are ever so simple. There we go. And that all rotates very nicely. This part goes there. There's actually a hole there, which I don't quite know what it's for. It should be there. There's also a little nobule there, which I've no idea what it's for. 2 wheels. And yeah, basically with a good lubrication, it all runs rather well. Now the next thing that I want to do is something that I have done already, but it broke, is fit a light bulb. And to fit the light bulb, we undo these 3 screws here. 1, 2, and then 1 at the back. Which is a little bit worn. There we go. And then that bit lifts off to reveal the motor. Let's have a closer look at that. So here is the motor. I'm not going to take it out, but it is a wonderfully simple little thing. Look, you can see everything. There's the armature. There, look. Very clean. All the original wires. I think deep down I have had to replace some coming off the coil, but these ones are okay. There's some there, look, as well. Big old slow lovely thing this is. And the bulb slots in here. Now the reason this is the second bulb that I have fitted is the first one broke. And I'm not entirely sure, well, I sort of know why. If you watch as I fit this, it touches the back of the casing. I think these are sort of senior, they're only very cheap eBay ones, type motors, type bulbs, and that touches the back, and it did run. However, it then broke, and I'm torn between, Charlie had a screwdriver at the time, whether he put it through, because there isn't a lens on these, they're from the era where if a small child touched the bulb, they got told off and sent to bed for touching the bulb. So whether he's had a screwdriver in there, or I did let it drop forwards when I was fitting the base plates. Whether that popped it, or whether the heat just got too much for it because it was touching the casting and it exploded itself. So basically we're going to run it and find out. So I was never entirely sure, and I'll be honest, if it does go again, I'm not going to fit another one. I'm only really doing this for this video just so you can see it all lit up. I shall have a look and see, because I imagine that I need to get slightly thinner type bulb, rather than one for a senior. Actually get one that should fit this, although I imagine there's many different styles, really cheap modern ones from eBay, so I can't imagine it'll be too difficult to find an appropriate bulb. So if it does smash again, maybe I just got unlucky, but yeah, I do remember letting the front drop on it. So let's get set up and we'll do some vacuuming. So I've spread some dirt, emptied the DC-04 out, and I've got the cable underneath the hook, never mind. But first, we'll just turn it on and you can watch the bag. Such a lovely sound. Such an understressed, lovely old thing. Right, let me get a bit closer and we'll get this dirt up. And we'll start with this bit here. Nothing too stressful because it will pop the belt off if I do too much, but just enough to show you. And it basically coats with it utterly fine. This must have been an amazing thing back in the 30s. I'm amazed with it now, and the light hasn't blown yet. And it is ever so slowly putting itself forward. Let's have a close up of this Weetabix and see if we can make it bounce. Right, I have adjusted the height a little bit, just for maximum fun, and I'm just trying to sort of focus in on where we need to go. Let's see what happens. Fantastic. Every time I use this, I am more and more impressed by it. 1938, this thing's nearly, what are we now, 2017, so 1948, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008, 2018 is next year. So this is 79 years old. Parts of it are even older. I think the motor itself was used in many, many machines, the coffee can type motor. So let's just have a quick look at the brush roll. See what's the best way to position this so that you can see it and I don't smash the bulb. Ooh, there we go, that'll give you an alright look at things. It flung a little bit of Weetabix out, but I can forgive that. And a P. There's a P. Also, let's have a look at the activator. Agitator as it is now. So this isn't a brush roll. Brush roll was the earlier tuft ones for the very early machines. This is one of the first agitators. So there's 2 beta bars on either side, and then 2 there. And then there's 2 brush strips. I can't imagine these are the original brush strips, they're incredibly good. They were on it when I got it. And yeah, that's basically what we have. Let's do some more general shots. To say, looking through the viewfinder there, when I shut the curtains and turned the light off and turned the camera light off, that light pattern was amazing. That's just like all the old promotional material we used to see for these, with the proper angled lights lighting up the word Hoover. We might have to play around with that, see if I can get myself a new channel logo. And very quickly I'll show you the grooming. Might to adjust the head. So there we go. I won't call this a before or an after refurb, I'll be honest, because it's neither. This is just it. Might lob this under a from my collection series, because it is really. I'm incredibly happy with it. This is the first time I've ever used it. Well, obviously I've used it for a couple of days, but First time I've actually used it since having it. It's spent more time apart than together, and it works amazingly well. So, while we won't do any painting this year, that will wait until next year now, because I've missed a boat with the nice weather really. I've got the original bag to put on. There was a video of that coming anyway where I wash it, so you will see that, and I'll fit it to the machine and we can see it and inflate it and making it nice. Well, because this grey bag is what's going to be used with it anyway, because I don't want to get the original bag dirty because it is incredibly fragile. I've even got a spare bag holder for it so I don't have to keep sliding it in and out. So there we go, my 1938 pre-World War II Hoover 875. Hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. Thank you very much for watching. We will see this soon. I'll do another video when it's all back together. But for now, goodbye.